Guys, today we're gonna do a review video. I've got some other videos that are gonna be coming out soon. I've got some challenges that I'll be doing, and I still haven't gotten my BoxyCharm yet, and it's Christmas Eve, so can't do the unboxing yet. Everybody's gotten their BoxyCharms, but I haven't gotten mine yet. But I have a lot of different videos coming out. They'll probably be spaced out pretty far because I'm really tired. Some of the videos I've had subscribers request certain videos, so I'll go ahead and do those. And then I've got some other ideas that I'm working on. But today I'm going to be reviewing the Sweet Dreams palette by Peachy Queen. This is another smaller brand, small business. It's an independent brand. And this was I was actually going to do a review on this for Halloween, and I just never got around to doing it. And I figured I'd do it for Christmas because, as you can see, the colors actually look pretty Christmassy. So I was like, may as well. The theme may not be Christmassy, but the colors are. Also, I got some new glasses, so if I look different, that's why. I've already got my eyeshadow base on. Let me get my eyeshadow brushes out here so that I know what I'm working with. Because once these glasses come off, I'm not going to be able to see. I think that's, oh no, there's one. Alright, let's go ahead and take these off. Stick those there. And I think the first shade I'm going to go in with is this shade here called Sleep. Already can't see. I'm going to use more of a fluffy blending brush. And we're going to go basically in the crease, but a little bit higher. The crease and above, I guess. This is a lot shimmery than I thought it was, but that's fine. It's more of a transition kind of shade anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with Red Door, and I'm going to use kind of a, it's not flat, but it's a shadow brush, and it's flatter than a blending brush anyway. We're going to go right into the crease. And we'll move a little bit above the crease too, as well. I've never used an eyeshadow palette from this brand before, so I don't know what the formulas are really like. So far, they're okay. They're not the best formulas that I've used. Because I'm having to kind of dig into the, ooh, my nose itches. Dig into the palette quite a bit to get some pigment onto the brush. We'll take a blending brush here. little difficult to blend, but they're not the worst that I've tried. Take that a little higher up, I think. And this is probably going to almost completely cover that first shade that I put down. But I'll go back over it, go over the edges with that light pink shade whenever I get this blended. And I'm taking this pretty high. Alright, and then I'm going to go back in with that pink shade. Kind of buff out the edges some. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with this flatter kind of brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Slash, and that's going to be the outer corner. And let's try to blend that out some. And this color seems to really complement that brighter red. I'm gonna take a pencil brush and kind of try to go into the crease a little bit, like not take a lot on there, but just to deepen up that crease a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Part of that doesn't look blended very well, so I'm going to go back over that area that's not blended as good as I hoped. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with, there's actually two glitters here, but y'all know the deal with that. I can't use those. So I'm going to go in with the shade Scream. And I'm going to put it in the middle here. And I may end up, I'm probably going to use this for the inner corner. It's Steel Claws. But I'm going to go ahead and go in with Scream. It's not actually as shimmery as I'd hoped it was, but we'll see what happens. It looks to be a pretty chunky formula. I should have used a cut crease, but we're about to find out. And it's not a this is actually a very powdery shimmer shade. So be aware of that if you've got dry eyes. Don't do what I just did. You're going to want to use a cut crease because it's going to be very flaky throughout the day because it's not a very creamy formula. Oh, I didn't bring my paper towel. Okay, hold on one second. I got to get my paper towel. Okay, we're back. And my finger is actually already stained. This is me taking it off without any kind of makeup remover. It's just a wet paper towel. So it may actually come off with makeup remover, I don't know, but keep in mind your eyes may be stained from this if you use this palette. I'm going to go on ahead and go in with Steel Claws. And this one is also quite powdery. And we're going to kind of blend it into that redder shade. And that gold kind of just disappears into that red, like it's fading fast. So I'm going to definitely recommend you do a cut crease if you use these. Because if not, the shimmers are just going to fade away, I guess. Which this wasn't an expensive palette. Like, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't much at all. So I don't expect the best quality from it, but I do want to know what kind of quality I would get from it. Which, it's not a terrible look. Blend this out some more. I just have a feeling that without the cut crease, it's going to fade more and more throughout the day. Okay. I'm going to go off camera now and go ahead and do this eye and do the rest of my makeup, and then we'll come back and do the under eye part of it. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, we're back and we're ready to do the bottom part of our makeup. Okay, we're going to go in with this little shader brush. We're going to go in with the color Slash. I've got the hiccups. And we're just going to go right into that lash line. We're going to kind of blend it out too. We're not going to have just a dark line through there. And the fallout with this palette is quite minimal. There's very little of it. And like I said, the colors, the formula isn't impossible to work with, but you gotta put a little more effort into it than you would a higher priced palette. But it still works nonetheless. You'll see me kind of squint my eyes a little bit if I get eyeshadow in my eye, just trying to make my eye water a little bit to get it out. That's something that comes along with the dry eyes. And my eyes have been just a little bit more on the drier side here lately. All right, and now we're going to go in with the shade Red Door. We're going to go in with the LR112 blending brush by, I don't know what brand it is, LaRousse. We're going to go just around the edge of that slash shade. I'd already forgotten what the shade was called. Just to kind of blend out the edge a little more. This is looking a little more gothic than I intended for it to. But that tends to happen with quite a bit of my looks. If I do a darker look, it ends up looking a little almost angry. Although, given the name of this palette, I can kind of see why. Okay, and then we'll try to, I guess, brighten that up a little bit with that Sleep shade. And we're going to go around the edge of that red that we just used. And then we're going to take this kind of pointy pencil brush and we're going to go back in with the shade Still Claws, and we're going to do like the tear duct area and the brow bone. Probably going to regret this, but it's going to look pretty, and that's what matters. And when I do the brow bone, I always go in with the side of that pencil brush. that looks pretty good. And I'll be right back. I'm going to put my mascara on and do my lips, which will probably just be a lip gloss. And then we'll be right back to talk about how I feel about this palette. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And this is a finished look. And it does look quite a bit darker than I had intended, but I still feel like it looks kind of Christmassy. And the way 2020 has been, I think this fits perfectly. The palette itself, Trixie, what are you doing? The palette itself, it doesn't really scream Freddy Krueger to me. I mean, it does look more Christmassy to me than it does Freddy Krueger. The packaging itself screams Freddy Krueger, but the color story doesn't really fit with the palette itself, I don't think. The formula was okay given how much the cost of the palette was. It was a little harder to blend than it would have been a higher priced palette. They worked well together, the different shades did, the ones that I tried anyway. I didn't get to use the greens any, but I'd imagine with it being the same formula, they'd probably work about the same way. But overall, for the price point of the palette, it's not a bad palette, and I would probably purchase it again. You can only make a few different looks with this color story without them all looking the same. And I think that if you're a collector of A Nightmare on Elm Street things, this would be good for you. I love A Nightmare on Elm Street. But for makeup wise, you could only get so much use out of it. But I think overall it's a good palette for the price point. But I guess that's it for this video. I'll be doing, like I said before, a few more videos, but they're going to be spaced out because I'm tired. But I've had subscribers request a few different kinds of videos, and I've got a few ideas that I'm working on. But I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday, and I will probably see you in the next week or so, or in 2021. Let's hope 2021 is better. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.